What is going on, guys? Welcome back to episode number 2 of our NHL 20 Seattle Kraken franchise mode. For those of you that missed episode number 1, I will make sure to drop a link right now so you can go check it out before you watch episode 2. For those of you that did watch it, I'll just do a quick rundown on what happened in the first episode. So we went through the expansion draft and we picked our base team. We then went into the NHL entry draft where we ended up with the 6th overall pick, and we traded up to 4 in order to select Capo Caco. So what's going to happen in this video is I'm going to show you guys what our current lines are, and then I might make a trade or two. I'm going to see how our lines are looking and go from there, and then I'm going to try and get a good amount of simming done this video. So let's start off by checking out our lines. So as you guys can see right off the bat, our forward lines are not looking too good. We've got our draft pick that we picked this year on our first line as an 80 overall. I might bump him down to line 2 or 3, but he's given us a +3 on that first line, so I might just keep him there. We've got Anthony Cirelli as our first line center, which he has a good fit on that line, but I mean, an 80 overall on our first line, not exactly ideal. We got David Perron, who's actually decent, and he's a good line fit, but after that, we just it just falls off. You know, we got all 80s overall, so I'm thinking that we're gonna have to acquire a line 1 center, but I'm gonna show you guys the rest of my team before we get into it. Our defense actually aren't too bad. I'm gonna have to jiggle around the lines because we got a -3 here, but our defense core is pretty solid actually. And then let's check out our goalies. We got Markstrom and Halak, so a decent 1-2 punch, but we're going to have to do something about our forwards, no doubt. I just want to see if we have anybody scratched. Okay, so we got Mika Niskanen and Carlson scratched. So those are actually 2 decent trading chips, which leads me to believe that we're going to have to go acquire a line 1 center. Before I do that, I'll just show you our AHL lines. They're not too hot, obviously. We've only been through 1 draft, so we still got like 48 overalls on the team. Nothing too special. So yeah, did we draft a goalie last draft? I don't remember. Looks like we drafted this guy. Okay, so I think based on our lines, I'm going to go out and see if there's any first line centers that are a good fit on this team, and then I'm going to try and make a trade. All right, so I think we may have found our guy here in Mika Zibanejad. He's 85 overall. He's only 26 years old, so we're still going to get a lot of years out of him. His role is a second line forward, which, I mean, I'd prefer if it was a first line forward, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Potential top 6, and he also fits in our top 6 forward lines in all penalty killing lines. So he fits our coaching scheme, which is great to see. I've put together a trade that I think could go through. We're having to take on Mark Stahl because otherwise the Rangers would be over the cap limit, and I mean, we have tons of cap space, so that's not really something I'm concerned about. We're going to be giving up Carl Soderberg, who's currently our second line centerman, which I don't mind giving up because we're getting a centerman, and Soderberg's also 33 years old, so he's not really doing us any good. And then we're also looking to give up Niskanen, who is one of our scratch D-man, so I don't mind that. I don't love giving up a second round this early and a 4th, but I mean, I'd love to get Zibanejad on our team. So I'm going to see if this trade goes through. I kind of doubt it will. It looks like the trade value is pretty close, but I think they're going to want more. So let's see here. Trade accepted. Okay, that's actually awesome. I wasn't sure that that was going to go through, but that is a great move for us. So I'm going to put together our lines again, and I'll show you guys where we're at. So while I quickly looked at our lines after that Zibanejad trade, I realized that we still have a -3 on our third pairing defense. And I tried moving the lines around and it kind of screwed everything up. So I realized that I'm going to have to trade one of either Larson or Manson. And so I decided to trade Larson because when I've used him in previous franchise modes, his morale always goes down and he ends up as like a 78, even though he should be like an 83. So I decided I'm going to trade him. And I found Tony DeAngelo actually on the Rangers again. He fits our third pairing D-man. He's 23 years old and potential top 4, so I think this is a pretty solid trade. And in return, I think we can at least get our second rounder back. I don't think it's going to go through with our third rounder, but I thought I would just try it. So we will see if this goes through. I don't think it will, and yeah, it didn't. So let's see if we take away this third rounder, see if it goes through. Okay, perfect. So now I'm actually going to go fix the lines and then I'll show you guys where we're at. All right, so we've got our lines in order, and this is what I think we're going to roll with for the beginning of the season anyways. So as you can see, we've got our lines all set up. And I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, why the hell am I playing Anthony Cirelli on the first line after I just went out and got 85 Zibanejad for my first line? Well, the reason I have him there is because he's giving that first line a +3, whereas if I put Zibanejad in, it gives both lines a +1. I'm just going to start it off like this. I might switch it back. I really like that +3. I wish Zibanejad could give the line that, but Cirelli's like a perfect fit for line one, so this is how we're going to start off things. Our first two lines aren't that bad, and then our third and fourth aren't great. On D, I switched things around a little bit. I've got +3 on this first line with Gustafson and Spurgeon. The second line is not great. I'm actually going to put Manson on the trade block, I think. And then on our third line, it's not great either. I'm also going to put Muzzin on our trade block because he's 30 and he doesn't fit our coaching scheme whatsoever. But this is what we're going to roll with for now. And then in nets, you know who we have, Markstrom and Halak. So why don't we get into a game? Oh, we just got to do best lines for our AHL team here. But why don't we slow sim our first game of the season here? All right, so I've simmed ahead of the preseason where we didn't do too bad. We went 3-4, which isn't terrible. And we've got our first game of the season against the absolute powerhouse Pittsburgh Penguins. So I don't know how this one's going to go. Their lines are significantly better than us, especially on forward. So we might get dummied here, but I wouldn't mind getting a win in our first game. I mean, I don't think the season's going to go too well. We're definitely in rebuild mode, sorry. But let's see what happens. Period number 1 here. Let's just sim through this whole period. And 0-0, so not bad. I mean, they're out shooting us pretty significantly, but a 0-0 period. And we'll sim through period number 2, and it's still 0-0. So, wow, very low-scoring game. We're going to slow sim this third period and see if the boys can pull it out. On the PK here, we kill it off. We've made the shots a lot closer than they were, which is nice. 2020 now, so we've actually evened them up. Can't believe how low scoring this game is. In most of these franchise modes I do, the games are just crazy high scoring, so it's pretty rare that you see one of these. And Jake Gensel gets one on the power play. So we're down 1-0 here, late in the third. Haven't found our offense, and then McCann scores, so 2-0. Not looking good for us with 8 minutes to go here. We're going to need a big rally back. Wouldn't be the greatest seeing us get shut out in our first game, and we get one. Michael Frolik on the second line pots one, and we've got a bit of a game here if we can put one in these last 2 minutes. Come on, boys. I would love to see some overtime in game 1. 30 seconds left. Oh, and Malkin scores an empty netter. It's not a bad game. I mean, at the end of the day, we are playing the Penguins, so you can't expect too much. Just take a look at the 3 stars here. I don't think we'll have any. Yeah, I mean, Matt Murray stood on his head. Gensel with 2 points and Schultz with 2 assists. So not a terrible game. I mean, as I said, you can't really expect much. Penguins are so much better than us, so can't really expect too much here. And let's get a little bit more simming done. Why don't we sim through this, sim through the rest of the month here and get a little bit into November. So we're playing the Predators and we get slapped 6-3. We lose to the Panthers as well, so not looking great to start the season, and we're 0-4 to start the season. So that first week of games did not treat us too well. But as I said, we're in rebuild mode, so I don't mind losing too much. 0-5, and we get our first win against Anaheim. Love to see that. Zibanejad has something to talk to you about. I want to speak about my ice time concerns. Okay, so I kind of thought this was going to happen because I have him playing on the second line. So I'm going to agree with him, and I think I am going to switch things up and put Cirelli on the second line because it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So yeah, I'm going to promise him that he's going to get more ice time, and then I'm going to go switch up those lines, and we will keep this simming going. All right, so we switched things up, and we got Zibanejad on the first line, and I think actually before or right after I ended the recording to switch the lines, you guys missed the sim, and we actually won 2 straight against the Rangers in Ottawa. So we're kind of pulling the season together a little bit, 3-5 now. See if we can pull out any more wins in October here, and we lose 6-1 to Arizona. So not a great look for sure. Zibanejad's happy I kept the promise. You're welcome, buddy. Why don't you go and score some goals out there for us now? All right. It's a +2 on the morale. 8-2 Caps, and we lose 4-1. And Jake Muzzin has something to talk about. He's not happy with the team's performance. Well, I don't blame you here. I think you need to trust the process and stay patient. We'll see what that does. It's kind of risky because it could lower his morale. I see this going downhill. Disagree. Well, that's not the outcome we were looking for, but it happens. I think I'm going to put him on the trade block. Like I said earlier, I kind of forgot to do that. So once we're through this little simming period, I'm going to put him on the block. Against Toronto, we get a 4-1 win, and then an OTL against the Sharks. Not bad. Calgary's a wagon, it looks like. We win in shootout. So we're not doing as bad as I thought, to be completely honest with you. We're not in last place. The Golden Knights are, which is really weird to me. So I think the plan for this video is we'll try and get to maybe sometime in December here. I'm trying to see. So we do have one game against Vancouver. As I talked about in the first video, they're going to be like a rival team because, as I said, Seattle and Vancouver are very close, and then they have that Canada-USA kind of rivalry. So I think it's cool to have that. So I'm definitely going to slow sim all of the Vancouver games. As for other slow sim games, I mean, this season I don't see us having too many important games because I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. But if we do get in a situation like that, I'll definitely slow sim those games. But other than that, we'll just kind of sim through the rest of this. I think what I'm going to do right now is go throw a couple players on the trade block so we can get some decent offers, and then we will sim to sometime in December, probably December 11th or maybe later. So I will be right back. We've now got Ekholm and Muzzin on the trade block, and we're going to sim to December 10th, where we're going to slow sim our game against Vancouver, and that's going to wrap up the video. So let's see how we fare in November. Coach Reese is happy you kept your promise. We got to give Kako the NHL stay. I mean, he's one of our best forwards, so he should definitely stay in the club, and I think the coach will agree with this here. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Excellent, I agree with your call. Okay, perfect. I might turn off these morale meetings because they're kind of annoying and they don't really make an impact overall. It just kind of hurts my morale most of the time, so I may end up turning them off, but we'll see. And so let's see what we can do in November here. Another loss, and we get another coach conversation. He's saying that we need more veteran presence, but I'm going to say no, we can't take spots away from the young guys. We're in a rebuild. There's no sense in acquiring veteran guys. He disagrees, and well, I'm going to disagree too, because that just doesn't make sense to me. This is why I think I should end up turning this off, because I mean, it doesn't make any sense to go get a veteran guy. We have a shit team, and we need to develop our prospects. We lose 3 straight now. See if we can beat Detroit. We win against Detroit, which is solid. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt to lose against Detroit because I mean they're going to be in the draft lottery along with us. But we're not having trouble dropping games nonetheless. Oh, we pick up 2 wins. So 8-12-1 isn't as bad as I suspected. We are last in our conference right now. We lose to Tampa. Or we beat Tampa, sorry. We beat Montreal, so there's a 2-win streak. See if we can beat the Golden Knights because they're apparently just terrible. And we do win, so we're actually closing in on 500, which is surprising. And kind of worst case scenario, because I mean 500 we're not going to make the playoffs, but we're not going to get a good draft lottery. And we get a trade for Jake Muzzin, a first rounder and a second rounder. This is interesting. See where Dallas is. They're 15-11, so they're trending to make the playoffs, but like one of the last picks. I'm definitely going to consider this one. I just want to see what position Carlson is because we've still got him on the team. And so if we trade Muzzin, we can just put him in on the 4th line. I just want to see if he's a lefty. Let's see here. Come on. All right, he is a lefty. So I think I am going to take this trade. I might try and get a 3rd rounder out of them as well. Just try and sweeten the pot a little bit here. See if this works. They don't have a third rounder. We'll try their third rounder next year. Hopefully this works. Trade rejected. Okay, we'll try and get maybe their fourth this year. See if that changes anything. Trade rejected. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to take it away, and I will accept that trade. So welcome to the team. Or I guess not welcome to the team. Welcome to the team, our draft picks that we just received. I'm just going to plug Karlsson into the lineup here, and then we will keep simming away. So after accepting that trade, we moved Karlsson into the third pairing D where Muzzin was, and it actually gave us a +3 on that line with Karlsson and DeAngelo, which is not bad at all. So we basically got a +1, swapped out our D, and got a first and a second rounder. So can't be mad about that. We got one more game until we're facing off against Vancouver here. We'll see if we can pick up a win against Winnipeg, and we lose 1-0. So we're going to slow sim this last game of the episode. These are the games that I really want to win more than anything. I'm going to try and keep track of how we do against Vancouver, since they are our rival in this franchise mode. So let's get into it. I'll sim the first period here, and we're up 1-0. You love to see it. Nemestikov scores one. Huge, putting us up 1-0. All right, let's sim through this second period, and 2-0. Very nice. Karlsson just got put into the lineup, and he scores one from the slot. That's awesome. And let's get into our third period. See if we can hold on to this 2-0 lead and take the season or the rivalry 1-0. And Tanner Pearson gets one. So it's 2-1 now. And they're on the power play. Not ideal for sure. See if we can hold on. I'd like to get another insurance goal here or something. And 10 minutes left. Shots are pretty close. We're out shooting them a little bit here. I wouldn't mind seeing overtime, I'm not going to lie. They got another power play. Still on the power play here. And we kill it off. Very nice. 5 minutes left. Up 2-1 still. I'm very surprised at how low scoring these games are, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what's going on in this one. 2-1. 30 seconds left. We get an empty netter maybe? And 2-1 win. We will take those all day. Very odd score. It seems like a lot of our games are low scoring. I don't know if we have a defensive build or what, but first star, Yaroslav Halak. So we had our backup in against our rivals, and he puts up a great performance, 967 save percentage. And then our second star, he was just put into the lineup 2 days ago, and he scores the game-winning goal, actually, Karlsson. And then their goalie, Thatcher Demko, with the third star. So very interesting game indeed. All right, guys, this is pretty much going to wrap up the episode. I think I'm going to try and keep the video length around like 15 minutes. If you guys think that's too long or too short or have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. And the same thing, if you have any suggestions on lineups, on moves I should make or anything, please let me know in the comments. I want to try and interact with you guys and stuff like that. So feel free to comment, and I'll try and read them out in the videos and take your suggestions and stuff like that. That's all for the video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.